Pertuzumab is a HER2-directed, humanized monoclonal antibody. It is the first in a new class of agents that target HER2, called HER2 dimerization inhibitors, or HDIs. HDIs bind to the HER2 receptor to block dimerization of HER2 with other HER family members and suppress HER2-mediated cell proliferation. Approximately 18 to 20% of breast tumours overexpress the HER2 receptor, resulting in overactive cellular signalling. This signalling leads to abnormal cell proliferation and survival and results in tumour growth. HER2-positive breast cancer is a particularly aggressive form of the disease and is associated with poor prognosis. The HER family is comprised of 4 transmembrane receptor tyrosine kinases. Each receptor has extracellular, transmembrane, and intracellular domains. The extracellular portion of HER receptors is composed of 4 subdomains. Extracellular ligand binding triggers a change in conformation that enables HER receptors to dimerize with other HER family members. HER dimerization is a critical step in receptor activation. It leads to phosphorylation of the intracellular domain of the 2 paired receptors and activation of cell proliferation and cell survival pathways. Unlike other HER family receptors, HER2 has no known ligand. It exists in an open conformation and is continually available to dimerize with other HER family receptors. Of all the possible HER2 dimer combinations, preclinical studies suggest that HER2-HER3 is the most potent oncogenic receptor pair. While HER2 activates the MAPK pathway, leading to cell proliferation, migration, differentiation, and angiogenesis, HER3 is the only HER receptor that can directly activate the PI3K pathway to drive cell survival signaling. Pertuzumab, a HER2 dimerization inhibitor, is designed to bind to domain 2 of HER2 to block ligand-activated pairing of HER2 with other HER family members, including HER3. Preclinical studies demonstrate that inhibiting HER2-HER3 dimers interrupts both the MAPK cell proliferation pathway and the PI3K cell survival pathway, and ultimately tumour growth. The Pertuzumab mechanism of action is complementary to that of trastuzumab, another anti-HER2 monoclonal antibody, which has already been established as an effective treatment for HER2-positive breast cancer. Trastuzumab, binding to domain 4, disrupts ligand-independent HER2 signaling, prevents the shedding of HER2 extracellular domains, and enhances the effects of cytotoxic chemotherapeutics. In addition, binding of either pertuzumab or trastuzumab to HER2 on the surface of tumour cells leads to recruitment of the body's own immune cells, which are stimulated to attack and destroy tumour cells. This process is called antibody-dependent cellular cytotoxicity, or ADCC. Preclinical studies have demonstrated that combining the HER2 dimerization inhibition of pertuzumab with the anti-HER2 activity of trastuzumab offers a more comprehensive blockade of HER2-driven signaling pathways than either agent alone, resulting in synergistic anti-tumour activity.